Yeah. We put in work and here's the proof. What you want?
I'm making moves, punching in.
I'm on it too.
I'm in the gym.
I'm in the stew.
It's hunting season.
Where's the food?
We push each other daily, level up.
Cause that's what brothers do.
Clock in.
Clock in.
I've entitled this message, Clock In.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Clock In.
How you feeling, man?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. Shout out to Pops for the
Yeah, let's hear that one more
intro,
time. Let's hear that
man.
one more
Yeah,
time.
one time.
I've
for the people.
entitled this message,
laugh.
Clock In. Clock In.
Yeah.
That's great, man. Shout out to Dad, man. Shout out to Dad.
Shout out to Pops, man. Round of applause, man. Round of applause. But y'all need to clock into that Sunday service, though.
For real, man. Some of y'all.
I know some of y'all was wilding out yesterday. I seen y'all snaps and IG stories. So
Yeah.
clock into that Christ Fellowship Church.
Yeah, them clubs opening back up, man. Y'all acting unholy.
Like
Nah,
heathens
man.
up in here, man. But look, always a pleasure, man. Episode 14.
14.
Marshall Hamilton here, co-host.
Austin Hamilton, co-host. We
Look.
here, baby.
We here, man. We back. Shout out to Neek. Shout out to Gruss.
Yes, sir.
You already know what
Shout
it
out
is, man.
to the team.
Shout out to the fellas.
To the team.
Look, one quick plug, man. You know, we got to plug in some stuff. The Unity versus Division shirts. Austin posted some stuff on the Clock in IG. We got some new apparel coming out, man. Hopefully in the next, 2 to 4 weeks. But it's in honor of our first episode, Unity versus Division, which is obviously special to us.
Greater than division.
Unity is greater than Division, yeah.
Yep.
And we need it during this time. Elections coming up. A lot of stuff that's happened this week with like the NFL, NBA that we'll get into. But we need unity right now. And, we want to have that apparel launch to kind of honor that and push that message. So we're taking pre-orders. DM us, text us with, the design you want, the size you want.
Yeah.
And also, look, YouTube, got to promote that as well.
Yes.
Y'all need to tap into the YouTube.
Yes.
It's a different experience seeing, our facial expression, seeing, some of the stuff that we fool around with. The new handshake.
New handshake, yeah. Hit the subscribe button, man.
Yeah, it's easy, man.
Leave a comment. Show some love, man.
Yeah, it's
We'd appreciate that.
easy. Anchor, we'll
Yeah,
take.
big shout out to Anchor, man.
Yeah, Anchor's been big for us, holding us down. And, we have the opportunity to have people subscribe and support monthly or however you want to go about it. And everything matters. Again, we're trying to make this
This is the only time we'll use that all things matter or all lives matter.
Right, exactly.
It's the only time we'll ever use that.
Right. All donations matter.
All donations matter, man.
So, yeah, man, anything you wanted to plug before we get into a few things?
Nah, man. Let's let's keep going.
Yeah.
Shout out to everyone supporting. Shout out to the haters. I know there's people out there. Man, these clock in dudes are annoying, man. Well, hey, man. Anything that's hard and takes some effort is gonna be annoying.
So, yeah. Positivity is annoying during these times.
So we're gonna continue to be annoying. I'm the youngest brother, so I've been annoying.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So
Damn that.
all right, relax. But yeah, man, let's keep it going, man.
Yeah.
Keep clocking in, keep tagging people,
Yeah.
People that you think might need some encouragement, some uplifting, because that's what it's about, man.
Absolutely.
And getting people to the next level. But we need to do that together. So yeah, man, round of applause for all y'all.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Appreciate y'all support, man. More to come. Bigger things to come. Summer is basically over, man.
Oh, whoa.
Whoa,
Didn't mean to do
what
that.
that is.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Alright.
Yo, he came back quick. Was like, hold up, man. We good over here. Yeah, I got you. I got you.
But yeah, dog, the summer is basically over. I think officially September 21st.
Well, I got a long sleeve on. So is my man Neek. So
Yeah, we got September, bro.
yeah, man, we here.
Look, man.
I'm ready for it. This dude still got the cut off.
I got the cut off, man.
You did some push up before this?
You got the veins popping, bro.
You definitely did some push
The
ups.
veins, that one middle vein that connects to the bicep. Hey, man. man. Look, I'm not.
Wait, hold on. Before you ever went out, like in college, or you might even do it now. Did you ever do some push-ups?
Absolutely. In the summertime, I remember,
Anytime.
remember
Yeah,
we were
of
in
course.
Jamaica. We were in Jamaica. So we were in Jamaica for our oldest brother's wedding, man. Shout out to Walt and Brittany. This is back
That
in
was
like
the best wedding
2016.
ever. We
Yeah,
need to
it was-
we need to run that back.
it was
Y'all need to
lit.
renew y'all vows so we can run that back.
Yeah, it was lit. But I promise you, dog. But every time before we stepped out the house, first of all, we were shirtless most of the time, or we had a tank. He'd be like, it was Austin's idea too. He'd be like, yo, let's knock out 100 push-ups real quick. Oh man, he was a fool, man. But yeah, man, my mind's still in summer, bro. You know, it's still like high of 75.
Nah, it's still
80.
warm. I'm kind of hot right now. I can't even hold you.
So,
But shout out to my guy Don, man. He handmade the long sleeve. There's a lot of
it's tough.
yeah, man. A lot of tees, long sleeves. You know, all that good stuff, man. So shout out to Don, man. That's my guy.
I need to holler at him. I definitely need to get some merch. But yeah, I figured we could kind of talk about how the summer went, man. Like a summer in review. Since we're coming into the fall, man, which it's beautiful out here in Northern Virginia. Like the fall is
My
dope,
favorite
man.
season. One of my favorite seasons.
Yeah, it's a good. It's a
Really,
good
it
vibe
really
out
shows
here.
you can dress too.
Yeah, this is true.
Like,
This is true.
yeah, once it gets a little brisk out, we're gonna see who can dress.
Yeah, summer.
Summer is easy, you know,
Yeah.
throwing a tee, some shorts, some kicks.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, there is a science to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just throw on any fit. But yeah, the fall reveals who who gets it done
This is
when
a
it
fact.
comes to fashion.
this
So
is a fact.
I need some fall boots. Do you have fall boots?
Yeah, man, I got like 2 pairs
Not no
of Chelsea
not no
boots.
Timbs, but just
Nah, I got some Chelsea boots.
oh yeah,
And a
That's
couple
true.
other like, grown manish, casual type joints. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to pull those out. I got the peacoat.
Okay, gotta have a peacoat.
Yeah, that's
Black, gray.
I got
I like
tan.
the-
My
the
tan
tan
joint.
joint.
The tan joint goes
Yeah,
crazy.
the tan joint. You need that in your bag.
Yeah. I got. I need a gray. Eventually, I'll probably get like a navy blue. That's for like the professional, vibe.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
anyways, man, summer was for me. Obviously, it was different for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
It was different for all of us. I mean, not trying to like promote this or anything, but it was my first summer single in like 3 years. So, I think quarantine actually was good for me, man. It kept me focused on the right things.
Yeah.
Everything we have going on, like, basically the summer started off with us kicking off the podcast because we kicked it off in June.
Oh yeah.
We got the LLC for the Goods basketball in May, and then we started doing stuff in late July. I took my first vacation, like
That's
real
crazy,
vacation in like 5 years.
Yeah.
In August.
Because I mean, we growing up, we never really had vacations.
Nah. Me AAU
AAU trips, those were our vacations.
and seeing
I wouldn't
grandma,
trade it for the
seeing
world.
Nana.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
That was it, man. And not to like act like we didn't have any money, but I mean the reality is, one income, mom's a stay-at-home mom, 5 kids. Traveling
tough.
is expensive.
It's tough.
Traveling is expensive, so we kind of made trips around like what we already had going on, which is why this vacation for me was big, man, because it was the first time in a while where I wasn't traveling for business or work. You know what I'm saying? Like I had nothing to do.
Yep.
It was the first time I went somewhere outside of like this area where I had literally nothing to do. I could wake up and say, this is what I feel like doing today. Wasn't really checking email or whatever, but yeah, man, it was a big summer for me just personally because I feel like, just turned 29, on the cusp of being 30, and I think I talked about this on one of the episodes, but when I graduated college, my goal was to be a full-time entrepreneur by 30. And I thought basketball training was going to be like the main thing. I didn't know other things would come up, but this summer I feel like I kind of set the foundation for that to be able to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. I mean, summer was great. It was just more so. I feel like for me, a time for me to kind of reset and focus on like.
Don't forget
Make
you
a
got.
long-term
Don't forget you
move.
got a new. Don't forget you got a new drop.
I did get a new drop. That's probably the highlight of my summer.
Yeah, you got a new drop,
I
man.
got a new nickname. I haven't had a nickname like my whole life. You know what I'm saying? They like stuck. In fact, I was on my boys podcast. Shout out to Emmanuel Brown. I call him Chuck. I was on his podcast earlier this week over Zoom, and like they called me Federico when I got on.
Oh, for real? Oh, that's lit.
That's tough.
That's lit. Yeah,
That's tough. So
we did that. E. We did that.
yeah,
baby.
man. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. But yeah, man. Again, like not to be long, but it was a good summer for me personally. I feel like it's gonna set up some things for what my future goals are, man. And another thing, like reconnecting with y'all, like Nico and E, like E's my god brother. Been around him my whole life. He's always been a big brother, but we don't really see. We didn't really see each other a lot. You know what I'm saying?
He was grinding, man.
We both were. It wasn't just me. We all had stuff going
Yeah.
on, but
Just grow up. Man.
and then with Neek, like Neek was in Cali for a
different
minute,
coast.
and I saw you at Herndon. Like you came through to one of the hoop sessions last year.
Hey, yo, buckets too. Don't forget about the buckets, boy.
Hold on, do you remember that? We may have to.
Yeah,
We may have to go back into the files to
I
see
don't know about
how true that was. But nah, like for Neek, I've always liked Neek, man. Like I've always looked up to Nico. Like, middle school, like he had all like
He was a smooth dude,
He
man.
had all the gear, like all the girls was on him. You know what I'm saying? Like Neek was that guy,
They
man.
still on him.
Nope.
They
Neek was
still
that
on
guy.
him, man.
He's being
I'm
fake
telling
humble.
you.
But
tell
it's
you.
been good to like reconnect with people, man, that are going on the right path. So that's my summer, man. I'll let you talk about yours.
Yeah, good summer. I mean, obviously unusual given, COVID and, how that's all played out. But I think when we look back on the summer, it'll be the most important summer ever.
For our family.
For our family.
Yeah.
And for me personally. Kickstarting things that we've always dreamed about, visions that we've had as a family, for a while. And for us to finally, take that leap of faith, it's huge.
Mm-hmm.
It's huge. But most importantly, we're doing it with family. We're doing it with people that we care about.
Yep.
People that, are part of the same vision and have the same mindset as we do. And then also, how we're doing it with grace, with, encouraging people and being a blessing to people.
Having fun
And having fun with it, man. We're always going to have fun. Like, that's just who we are.
Yeah.
And, this podcast is a great testament to it. And people have been, affected by it in an enlightening way. So, yeah, man, like, to me, this has been the most important summer as a family, now as a father. And one of these days, I'll get into, my path as a father, because I think it's a powerful story. But yeah, man, it's been a great summer. I not being able to go out and do stuff like that didn't
not
matter to
important.
me. It really isn't. Like building this, has been great, man, and we're gonna continue to do so. On and off the mics, on and off the court.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's what it's about, man. So yeah, excited to go into the fall season and continue to be a blessing and continue to grow as people. Continue to
I've entitled this message, Clock In.
continue to clock in.
Clock In.
It's only right, man. It's
So-
only right.
Yeah, man. Again, we're doing it with family, and yeah, man, we're gonna get places. Mom, we had a conversation with Mom yesterday, and I think it was the first time she saw like the video,
The video podcast, right?
Video pod, yeah, on YouTube. Go subscribe to that, comment,
Like,
do all
share.
that stuff. But yeah, she saw it and was like, she's like, this is, like, you guys have something here. She's like, I have a vision that you guys are going to get to where you want to go. And it's going to be big time.
Yep.
And that's huge coming from mom. Because
Yeah.
my mom, she's like That's So Raven in a way, dog. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, man.
Like
for
when
real.
I go back to my story on fatherhood, you know, whenever I share that, like you'll understand what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Like her visions, like legit come to life.
Yeah, right. Like she.
And I think that's just a mother thing, man. Like mothers are different. Like they got an intuition that is really just like, it's like magical. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. They have superpowers, man. That, you know, no other
no guy,
no
will ever
male
have.
will ever have.
No.
Um,
It's one thing to like speak things into existence. Moms will like think things into existence.
seriously.
You know what I'm saying? Like they don't even have to speak it. It's like I thought of this.
Yeah, and it happened.
And like I had a dream about this, or like, and sometimes she's right about things. I don't even want to let her know she's right. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And it's like, nah, man, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Deep down, I'm like, yeah, dang, she knows exactly what she knows exactly what's going on.
she does, man.
Yeah, it's
Marshall
crazy.
be out of town. Oh, so what girl he about to see?
Oh, whoa.
That was TMI?
Whoa, calm down. Pump the brakes. Slow your roll.
I mean, I didn't
I don't know what you're
I
talking
didn't
about.
confirm it, so.
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. FIF.
Oh man.
Fifth Amendment.
But yeah, man, great summer. You know, we're gonna have another great summer next year. So.
Yeah, man. I mean, like most things in life don't happen right away, right? Like we're preparing for like 2025, 2020.
I can't wait to see where we're at next summer.
Yeah, man. And
We might be in a freaking corporate building with like, you know, big time
sky's the
equipment, everything.
Sky's the limit. And honestly,
LeBron might be at this table next summer.
LeBron might be here, and I have some questions to ask him.
You do?
I have some questions to ask
I
him.
got some questions to ask him too. How does it
Type of
feel to have?
questions?
How does it feel to have a fourth championship on your belt?
I want to ask him how did Kobe inspire you?
No, that's a legit question.
Yeah, nah, I'm joking.
That's a legit
But
question.
honestly, man, I'm more excited to see the people who have been supporting us where they are next summer. That's really what this is about.
Yeah.
I want to see where they are.
Yeah.
You know?
You guys are clearly watching football. So Sunday, obviously, NFL kicked off today. You know, it's a holiday. So I'm sitting here looking at them. They're like, yeah, go Eagles. Nick, are you a Washington football team
I'm a
fan?
Washington football team fan.
Nice. And he's a Eagles fan.
Of course.
So
Yeah, I'm a Jags fan. One of 107 in the world.
that's
Yes. Anyway, we'll talk about football later. But yeah, man, like you said, looking forward to big things from us, but also the people that we're connected to, man. Joe Zell, like people that we had on here, other people that, you know, follow us, you know, on IG, or even just support us in our everyday life. We want to just make an impact. That's what this is all about.
And you know what I love about the conversation we just had? It was all positivity, and it was all how, like, we took advantage of 2020, and it's going to lead to new things and better things.
Yeah.
Because on the other side, the majority of the people are like, man, I can't wait to get out of 2020, F 2020, like this is the worst year. But we didn't take that approach.
Nah.
Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest year.
Nah.
Obviously.
Yeah. We've dealt with. There's been things that have happened.
Yeah,
in our personal circle.
Exactly,
that
but
we're not gonna
No,
dwell
I'm not-
on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm not gonna harp on that stuff, man. Because what is it gonna do for me besides build stress that I don't need?
And what is us talking about this gonna do for y'all? To add more anxiety, stress, and add on to what you're already seeing on social media and the news, which is doom and gloom. So
Yeah. So, nah, man, that was great stuff.
yeah. Real talk, man.
Shout out to summer 2020, man.
Yeah. Round of applause.
It's gonna get even better, man. Change gonna come.
On a lighter note, NBA news. Look, ladies, we're gonna keep, the sports stuff, short and sweet. But it's who we are. I know y'all want to hear different stuff, but actually, y'all can relate to this next topic probably. Daniel House of the Houston Rockets. Oh man! All right. So for those who don't know, NBA bubble is pretty strict, right? So, as an NBA player, you need to stay in the bubble at all times, and you need to keep things that are outside of the bubble.
As a human, you need to do those things.
Yeah, that's a fact. But as an NBA player, especially, there's strict rules about like who you can be in contact with, in person, things you can do, things you can't do. And Daniel House is a member of the Houston Rockets who were just eliminated by
LeBron James. I'm sorry.
LeBron or the Lakers?
The Lakers.
Oh, okay.
LeBron Lakers.
All right.
LeBron's.
Yeah.
All right. The Los Angeles Lakers, home of Kobe Bryant's 5-time winning, championship winning legacy. So
Magic Johnson too.
All right. Anyways, so
clearly
Daniel
he's a Kobe fan.
Daniel House got caught, inviting a COVID-19 tester to his hotel room. Now, mind you, when this happens, the Rockets are down 3-1. And for those who don't follow sports like that, basically first to win 4 games in a series win. So they're 1 game away from being eliminated. And he risked it all for, female, man, for pleasure. And he was averaging like 14 to 15 points a game.
Hooping.
He was playing well. He was a big part of their strategy. And he got kicked out of the bubble. Like he's done. He was done. So there's a lot of life lessons we could talk about when it comes to this, but it's just funny, man. Like Stephen A. Smith talked about this from the beginning. He's like, look, man, I'm a realist, and these brothers are gonna be in the bubble for 3 months with no female companionship. Excuse me, Max. I don't give a dang about they haven't worked out, they haven't played, in 2 months. Look, these brothers, they're used to extracurricular activities on a daily basis, and you're telling me their wife, their girlfriend, the side piece,
the side piece.
Look. And they wanted to have it in Las Vegas. And Skip, Matt, I've been to Las Vegas, okay? There's a lot of distractions in Las Vegas.
He'd be like,
don't get me wrong.
Knows.
Lord knows.
There's some distractions in Las Vegas.
There's some distractions,
My
okay?
goodness.
I love Las Vegas myself for those reasons. It's a great city. All right, there's a lot of beautiful things in Las Vegas. But I'm telling you, these brothers gonna struggle, Max. So anyway, he predicted this.
Yeah, I co-signed with him. Like, dog, you can't tell me a bunch of grown men, and a lot of them are single, aren't gonna try a team.
Oh, I mean,
like,
dog.
come on. And here's the thing, like, I think House just got caught. Like, I think there's been plenty of other dudes that have, indulged.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My thing is, I need to understand how this works, because I assume that whoever is in the bubble stayed in the bubble this whole time.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, the COVID testers, the reporters, other than, like, the family members or whatever, like, the people who have been there from the beginning, I'm assuming they haven't left. So, I mean...
It should be like that.
Yeah, like, so if that's the case, and all of y'all get tested every day, and there's no positive test, is it necessarily wrong that he did it? If she has been in the bubble the whole time. Now, if she's been outside the bubble, I get it. But if she's been in the bubble...
Can we fact check that?
Like, what's what's the issue?
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? What's the issue? If she's going back and forth, it's like, all right, I feel it. Like I'm with the NBA, but was there like a no fraternization rule? And here's the other thing: it may not have been that the player or the players were the ones who, initiated. Like we've seen how some of these reporters are staring at these players while they're interviewing them.
Oh, for sure.
Like they're like dreamy eyed, bro.
Oh,
So
and
imagine,
I bet
imagine, like,
some of these reporters.
yeah, so I think some of it may be that the NBA players just didn't say no. Like these guys are getting stuff is being
But
done
I
all
don't
the
know.
time.
Yeah, but I don't know.
It doesn't make it right.
The tester though, like I've seen like JaVale McGee has a YouTube channel, and he'll document like everything, and like the testers they're not wearing. I don't know. I just feel like he had to really like kind of reach to set that up.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
knows,
I don't
man? Who
know.
knows?
But-
She set it up the whole time is what I'm saying.
What if LeBron?
She knew the schedule.
What if LeBron influence? Never mind.
What's LeBron got to do?
What if he set this whole thing up?
LeBron shaving points, you saying?
Nah. What if he
No,
was like?
okay.
What if he sent her?
That's-
What if he sent her?
He's shaving points, yeah.
What if he sent her, bro? What if he sent her to the Rockets camp? It was like, yo,
Regardless, it's like, dog, like you're in here to hoop. You know the rules.
yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's on him.
It's not worth it. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
on
This is
him.
all jokes, but
It's on him.
when we get down to it, like your goal, that should be what supersedes
Yeah.
all that. And they were considered by some like
I mean, they were down
a
2-1,
championship.
They were down 2-1 at the time. So did he play game 3 or game 4?
I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah.
I mean,
pretty sure he
regardless,
did.
the Lakers were going to win the series.
Yeah, they
But
were.
You don't want to go out like that, dog.
Nah, man.
Because you're leaving your teammates, in a bad situation, and I'm sure they talked about it as a team. Like, look, man, we got to be clocked in. Like, we can't have no distractions. We're here to win, man.
Yeah.
Like, when Dame found out they were going to be in the bubble, like, he told his teammates, like, look, man, like I'm hearing about business, dog. Like, there's no playing around. Like, we got a chance, so let's take advantage of it. And it showed, not obviously throughout him, but throughout his teammates.
Yeah. Jimmy
But
Butler was like,
here's the thing, like, I'm not gonna bash Harden or whatever, but that's the difference between, guys like him and LeBron as leaders.
yeah, I agree.
Something tells me anybody on the Lakers isn't doing that.
I highly doubt it. And whether it's about LeBron making sure that like this doesn't affect his legacy, or whether it's about the team, is besides the point.
Yeah, I mean,
but it should be like, and LeBron has had a history of eliminating distractions, with the social media blackout. So yeah, I doubt that happens on his team. But even Jimmy Butler was like, I'm not even talking to family right now.
Yeah,
Like I don't want them in the.
That's
I don't
what
want
I'm
them in the
saying, man.
stands.
Like, it's a different,
I don't want them in the stands.
like, leadership, man. That stuff matters. Like,
I question how much James Harden really wants to win. Honestly, like win a championship.
I've
And
been saying that.
and the other thing is with Daniel House, like he's not a superstar. So like
No.
he's going to be a free agent for a long time. He's going
this
to
is
be
gonna
bouncing
cost
around.
him. This is gonna cost some money.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and this is from like a life lesson perspective. Short term pleasure and all these other things. Like the reason why we're not tripping about not being able to go out and do all these things is that stuff it's not a top priority, man. Like we have things we're gonna accomplish, and it's bigger than that moment. Like Daniel House is ruining like future contracts.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, we know what your priority is. If you couldn't do that in the bubble, like when you're outside the bubble,
But
where's your focus going to be?
You're reaching, dog. Like one of the testers.
And the series is probably going to be over in like a week anyway.
Like, you're reaching, bro. Like, if it was Taylor Rooks or somebody, Taylor Rooks is very attractive.
Go big.
Yeah, she's an attractive reporter. Like, okay, like, I could see you. You know what I'm saying?
But I
It's
get why he did what he did though, because she's too high profile. Like that would have been on TMZ like that.
Yeah.
If you're gonna try to be low key, it got to be like the cleaning woman. You know what I'm saying? It has to be.
Downgrade. She
Women
has a lot
upgrade,
to
bro.
lose too. The cleaning lady don't got nothing to lose.
Women upgrade, men downgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
Go
fact.
with somebody who got just as much to lose as you.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
That's a fact.
That's fair.
Game.
Yeah, shout out to Nick, man. That was hard. Yeah.
Nick just checked me, man. Respect. Hey, Nick, let's switch spots, man.
Yo, we gotta do like an opposite pod day.
No, I'm good.
Nah, for real. Nah, like
That'd be dope.
We talked about it. Like we got to get y'all on here to really talk about like some of y'all journeys and stuff like that. Because it'll be good for people to know like, all right, who's behind the.
Who's behind
It don't gotta be long, bro. It
Yeah,
could
just be a little.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
man.
saying?
Nah, man, we gotta do opposite day. Do that.
Yeah, it could be like a 15-minute IGTV video.
Opposite day, like elementary school.
We were over here messing up the sound and video.
Nah,
That-
y'all
it would be
y'all will
dope.
chime in on our topic.
Yeah, it would be dope. It would be dope
Yeah,
though.
I
We
think
should definitely do that one day.
I think we would too.
Y'all would do it,
Definitely
dog.
have an ill segment.
Yeah, it would be dope,
Yeah,
bro.
man.
Like that's gonna be tough. But yeah. Anyways, like that whole situation was just funny because it's like, come on, man. Like you risked it all.
Gotta stay
for-
focused, man.
for whatever. But
Hey guys, thanks for clocking in with us and making it this far into the episode. We want to continue these episodes for as long as possible, but we might need your help. If you click on the description on each episode, you'll find a link that reads support this podcast. If you enjoy keeping up with us, click on that link and you can make a monthly donation. All right, you guys hear enough of me talking anyways, so let's get back into the episode.
another hot topic was NFL obviously started this week. But what kind of took the headlines was when the Houston Texans and Kansas City Chiefs played. You know, this is the first game of the NFL regular season. They didn't kneel. They didn't do anything crazy. They played both national anthems, meaning the United States one, and then the we call it the Negro national anthem.
Lift every voice and sing.
What's the rest of the words?
I gotta memorize that joint.
I ain't got that one.
Yeah, I gotta memorize that.
I gotta get that one off the Apple Store.
Yeah.
But they just stood together in unity. No one kneeled. Basically, it was a message of unity. That's all it was. It was both
That's it,
teams, multiple backgrounds, races, whatever.
And I guarantee you, people were on that side of like, well, I'm going to stand for the flag and all that stuff. But they humbled themselves and said, it's bigger than me, and they stood together.
Yeah, and people booed. So what are you booing? Like what is there to? What are you trying to boo? It wasn't a Black Lives Matter. They didn't have a Black Lives Matter flag. They didn't. No one kneeled.
Yeah.
What are you booing? And
I guess it's because they didn't come out for the national anthem. That's why they booed. But like they just think, I don't know. It's the NFL. The NFL fan base is a lot different than the NBA. I'll say that.
Yeah, it's true. But I've even seen a lot of people try to cancel the NBA. I think that
But I don't know. I don't think you would see many NBA arenas booing. When the teams are together. I don't know.
I think
This is
part
my
of it has to
opinion.
do with the NBA players have more purchasing power than the NFL players.
Yeah.
So
They're a lot more visible.
The effect of them saying I'm not playing is bigger than the effect of like the NFL players saying I'm not playing. What I mean by that is NFL owners can be like, well, look, you're a football player, bro. Like your time is limited. So if you don't play, like you're hurting your family more than you're hurting us.
Yeah.
NBA is like the NFL owners and the commissioner were like begging the players to figure it out.
Yeah.
NFL owners they're gonna be like, all right, bet.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
It's
we don't gotta pay you,
it's
and
two
you're already
completely different worlds, dog. So like when I was watching the game, when I heard him boo, I wasn't surprised.
No, I wasn't either.
Like, and I mean, think about where all this stemmed from, and when it comes to sports and the kneeling stuff, it came from the NFL.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know why people would even be surprised by this. Like Colin Kaepernick kneeled. Nobody even knew he kneeled until a reporter like just randomly saw it, and he asked him like why he kneeled. Stemmed from the NFL.
Yeah.
So it's sad because when people try and come together, as one and for the same cause, people are still gonna have something to say, and that's the sad part because, again, they didn't do anything. Like they stood together, but I don't know. Fans and athletes, man, they don't really coexist because people see these athletes as just athletes, like not as humans.
Well,
and that's a huge problem.
Well, it's not a coincidence that, just call it what it is, the majority of the players are black, and the majority of the fans, not the majority, but like a lot of the fan
Large
base is not
population of it, yeah.
is not black. They're white. A lot of them are, the stereotypical, like, blue collar or whatever. And I'm not a big fan of saying Black Lives Matter. I'm not going to get in. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
Because again,
Division.
it can be divisive, right? I get what the message is trying to say. It's our lives matter too.
Yeah.
But this just fuels that fire when, a lot of white fans just look at black people as entertainment and athletes, and that's why they say shut up and dribble and shut up. So
keep politics out of sports.
Right.
Like,
so here's the thing. I wanted to bring this up.
You're showing your true colors, man.
Yeah, and that really did show because they're the same people or the same like media outlets that are saying, well, racism is overblown. And
But if Mahomes throws a 70-yard touchdown pass,
you're cheering.
I love Mahomes. He's the best.
But you're burning his jersey when he speaks up about, racial
Yeah.
injustice. So there's a guy I know, black dude, and again, we've talked about this, like, black doesn't mean you support one particular party. So he posted on Instagram and said, as a conservative who believes in free speech, it's really sad to see other conservatives tell athletes to shut up and leave politics out of sports. It's called free speech. Remember, the point is that the better idea wins. If you don't want to be told to shut up, then make sure you fight for the stupid speech or things that you don't agree with too. That's what freedom is about. You don't get to determine what speech is permissible. Now, granted, I disagree with some of the things that some of the athletes have said, but the same logic goes with shut up and dribble. You can be used. That can be used on anything. You can be told shut up and just do your job. You can be told shut up and just build your business. You can be told shut up and just be a parent. You can be told shut up and just focus on music. So what's the difference between these professional athletes? The difference is most of them are black, and you feel like you have the right to tell them shut up and do your job because honestly, it goes back to slavery. I'm not even trying to like be that guy, but black
it's kind of slavery, but we want.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to like, just do your job. And then when it came to like the early 1900s, we got accepted in entertainment, right? Mm-hmm. Or sports, which is entertainment. There's a reason why Jesse Owens could perform in the Olympics, but at his freaking medal ceremony, he had to go through the back door. He couldn't go to the front.
Yeah.
So it's like, do your job, but everything else, you're still down here. So
again, there's no surprise, man.
You know what I'm saying?
No surprise.
So it's backwards. Like you can't choose when you want to use certain Bill of Rights amendments and constitutional rights. Like same we talked about this with some of the gun control stuff. Like a bunch of black people roll up with guns protesting. It's the conversation is going to be a little bit different. You know what I'm saying?
And honestly, that might have to be what happens.
Doesn't mean be violent. We'll do the same thing that black people do the same thing that some white people are doing. And I'm not faulting the white people. It's their job. I mean, it's their right to be able to do it. I have no issue with it. But my question is, how will the media portray the two, right? So it's the same with this free speech stuff. Like, you know, the military, they fight so that we can have free speech.
Yeah.
And that's whether you like it or not. So let's not be biased. And like I said this the other day on Instagram, you know, there are people who point out like black on black crime and how, you know, you guys have your own issues to deal with. And that's why, you know, like you can't blame cops or you know, racial injustice for where you are. Like, you guys are the reason why you are where you are. There are things we need to work on, right? But you're basically telling us we need to support ourselves and get better within our own community. All right, there's some truth to that. But guess what? When we talk about, I'm supporting black businesses, these same people are like, well, why are you only supporting your own businesses? Like, is that not the same thing as, you know, us not supporting you? And they try to like flip it. They're like offended that we're supporting our own people. Like, you can't have it both ways.
Nope.
Like, you know, you can't choose when you want to use certain things. So it was, yeah, man, it was just, I'm like, really, man? I'm curious what's going to happen today because, you know, we're recording while games are going on. I'm curious how the rest of this NFL week will go as far as how that, you know, the racial injustice and how fans respond. But it's just, it's sad, you know, that this is still, that this is a political thing. Like, this is a humanitarian challenge. This isn't a racial, isn't just a racial or political, you know, thing, man. This is about
I'm also
unity.
curious. I'm also curious to see, like, years from now, like, I don't know. Like, how are we gonna? What is this gonna look like years from now? Are we still gonna be wearing Black Lives Matter on our shirts? Is it gonna be painted on the field? Like,
no, I can tell you right now, I highly doubt it. No,
and it's like these things are gonna happen for forever. So, what are we gonna do as people? Because again, we can't depend on Jerry Jones or, you know,
Adam Silver
or
some actress.
What's the Patriots? What's the Patriots?
Robert Kraft.
Robert Kraft. Well, he's done stuff with Meek Mill, which has been great, but yeah, we can't depend on a painted Black Lives Matter in order for us to change these types of things. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It looks cool, and you know, it'll do some change and it'll create some awareness, but it's not going to be actionable.
We're past awareness.
Down. Exactly.
We're past like all this.
And
stuff,
honestly, to keep it a bug with you, like, if they take all that stuff away, I'm okay with that.
I don't care
because
I really don't.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Because at the end of the day, man, like, the media, this stuff is relevant now, and people are gonna exploit it and capitalize off it.
Right.
So when we get to 5 years from now, like, what else are we gonna be doing? Because it's probably not gonna be there. So I asked that question, man, because again, none of this stuff, like, it doesn't, to me, it doesn't really do anything.
Not long term, no.
No.
Am I against it?
No.
I'm against the thought process that this is going to fix things, but I'm not against
exactly.
that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because it's not. It's not.
Yeah. But yeah, we had to talk about that. Another thing that's kind of related, you know, NFL wise, is the Dak Prescott. You know, he basically just said, "Look, I've been going through some depression. Like, my brother committed suicide. His mom died from cancer, and he was open about his mental health, right?" And Skip Bayless, who we know is a troll, like, you know, he says things to get a reaction. I don't even think he believes 90% of the stuff he actually says.
No.
But here's the quote.
Puppet.
Here's the quote.
He's a puppet, man. A lot of these media, you know, acts and personnel, they're puppets, dog. Like, so I don't. And we'll get into that. You know, who we take advice from, and,
right?
You know, the different stuff we digest. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, he basically, Skip Bayless said, just to kind of like rebuttal Dak Prescott's confession or whatever. Quote says, "I have deep compassion for clinical depression, but when it comes to the quarterback of an NFL team,
A black quarterback.
at that, right? He says, you, talking to Shannon Sharp, his co-host, know this better than I do. It's the ultimate leadership position in sports. Am I right about that? You are commanding an entire franchise, and they're looking at you to be their CEO, to be in charge of the football team.
This franchise is the Dallas Cowboys, so that's important.
Yep.
Because this isn't the Jacksonville Jaguars. No disrespect to the Jags.
That is disrespectful to the Jags. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't care, man. I'm disrespectful to the Jags. They're my team.
Yeah, they suck.
He says, because of all that, I don't have sympathy for him going public with, I got depressed. I suffered depression early in COVID to the point that I couldn't even go work out. Look, he's the quarterback of America's team. The sport that you play is a dog-eat-dog. It is no compassion. No quarter given on the football field. If you reveal publicly any little weakness, it can affect your team's ability to believe in you in the toughest spots, and it can definitely encourage others on the other side to come after you." End quote. Where do I even start, man? First of all, if you read any good leadership book, and I just read one, I promoted it, I think on here and even on Instagram, called The Infinite Game by Simon Sinek.
Mm-hmm.
Vulnerability in a leader is one of the most important aspects of a leader.
Yep.
Because people see you as a human being, not as this high and mighty guy or woman who doesn't have any weaknesses. And a lot of leaders make the mistake of acting like they have all the answers, acting like everything's good, acting like,
I wouldn't even call. What was I forget what you sent it to me, but I wouldn't even call them a leader.
They're managers.
Exactly.
They're managers.
Exactly.
They manage people.
Yep.
Yes.
It's a difference. A huge difference.
Huge difference. So,
what is a leader to you? Let me ask you that.
A leader to me, man, is number one, someone who is walking what they're talking. Right? That's the number one thing, in my opinion.
No.
You can say the right things. You can be motivational. But if what you're saying isn't done behind closed doors, you're not a leader. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not a leader. So that's number one. You got to be an example. You got to be an example, the right example. Like, Hitler was an example. He was a bad example.
Terrible
right?
example.
But
the worst example.
The worst example, yeah. So you got to be a good example. Secondly, man, you got to have vision. You got to have vision, because vision is what keeps people moving in the right direction during the good and the bad, right? We talked about James Harden and Daniel House. Like, what was their vision? Was their vision to win a championship? It couldn't have been.
I don't think so.
It couldn't have been. And I say
not as a unit.
Not as a unit, nah. And I say good and the bad, because sometimes good things that happen can be a worse distraction than bad things, because you get complacent. So vision, I would say, is number two. And if I were to add a third thing, I would say just someone who has the right character, man. Like, eventually, no matter how big and bad you build something, your character is going to catch up to you.
Can't outrun it.
So, and on that note, I think that Dak Prescott has embodied those things from what I've seen.
Yeah.
On and off the field. You've never, ever questioned, who he is as a person. He's never been in any trouble off the field. Never been any drama. People love him. So for him to basically say, because he admitted that he has some depression issues after his mom and his
Hold on. First of all, everyone has depression issues.
Everyone has had one. Had some at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because we need to, like that word, that stigma, like we have to get rid of that, because depression is a real thing.
Yeah. We have to get rid of thought process that like
victimizing that word and like
Or that it's
associating,
weak, that you're weak.
associating with weakness, and it's automatically a bad thing. Cause I mean it's not it's not a great thing, but it's real. It's a real emotion. You know what I mean? So it's it's weak for him to even say that type of stuff. But again, it goes back to my point of saying people don't see these athletes as real humans. Like, for him to downplay his depression after all that he's been through, like, my guy lost his mother, he lost his brother who was really, they were really close with. Like, you know the Campbell's campaign, the soup.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually the quarterback and the mother.
right,
Well, Dak did it with his brothers.
right.
I mean, I just showed how close they were. So
I don't think his father was in his life.
I don't think so. I'm not sure. But his brothers, I mean, you could argue is the reason why he's the man he is today and why he's a quarterback of the most powerful franchise. But because he's the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, he's supposed to be invincible. For me, as a teammate of his, I'm going to respect that to the utmost.
Yeah.
And I'm going to want to,
Yeah.
if I'm on his offensive line, I'm going to block for him as hard as I can for, my full tenure there. So, yeah, it's just weak, man. But, again, I'm not surprised. Like, the way these people talk on TV and, the less of integrity, like, not surprised, because I know if for me, like, I wouldn't say certain things on TV about a person who I don't even know.
Dog, those are fighting words. Like what he said, like
Yeah.
those are like if I see you, like
And
my mom
and Shannon
died.
and Shannon, I don't know his response, but he should have called him out. Like, nah, dog. Like,
I gotta
that's
look
messed
into.
up.
I gotta look into what he said. I
yeah,
didn't
that's
look
messed
into
up,
that.
man. The dude
Nah,
experienced trauma.
dog.
Trauma.
If someone said that about me after what I've been through, and I see them on the street, like we might, like he has to see me.
And then,
He has to see me. I don't like.
and I'm
I
sure
don't
he's
care,
been
bro.
affected off of the killings of all these black people.
Yeah.
So
with
it's
the
all
weight
been,
of being
it's all been built up with him being a black quarterback.
in Dallas, with an owner who is always in the news, like, dog, being a professional athlete is enough pressure on its own. I know a ton of professional athletes who I've heard about who have sports therapists just to get through the season. And then you add in the fact that he's gone through all these things.
Dude, LeBron's a freaking like brand ambassador for the Calm app. You're telling me he hasn't been through some sort of depression?
Yeah, with what happened with the Miami Heat, like after
Come
he
on, man.
lost in that first finals, he pretty much said like I was not me. Like I was a different person.
Paul George just admitted it. Like, these are real things that we can't take light of, man, because it's at the expense of losing lives.
Yeah, and you're a coward if you try to roast
Yeah,
someone
no respect, man.
for admitting it.
No respect.
Let alone having it, but if they admit it in on that stage, it's like, come on, man.
No respect.
Come on, dog. Like, and
It's the same dude who averaged 1.4 points a game and played JV as a junior. You remember when Jalen Rose said that?
Yeah, and so there's a reason why he got
And it struck a chord.
he got moved to a different network
Yeah.
because he just. And here's the thing, like whether it's ESPN, Fox, any of these networks, and really it's a life thing.
Oh, clown. Like, it's
They
whack
don't-
that they let.
It's never people who have equal or more credibility than you that are giving you the criticism. It's always people who have done less. Like Rich.
Safe space.
Exactly. Like, I say stuff about LeBron or whatever, but, I play freaking Division III basketball. Who cares? I mean, honestly, I'm talking to myself. Who cares? Should LeBron care what I have to say? Heck no. Should he care what former NBA players have had to say? That he's accomplished more than? No. Does that mean that like he, as a person, like
He's not gonna be-
you shouldn't be open to criticism and trying to find ways to get better? Nah, that's not what I'm saying. But usually, especially on these networks, politically, sports wise, like people have made a living off of criticizing people who have done way more than them.
Yeah.
That's literally what ESPN
Yeah,
is.
and specifically Skip, like if I'm a LeBron fan at this point, like you have to know, and you have to have caught up on like his agenda.
Yeah, it's
And so and if you get offended by stuff that he says, like that's on you, man, because he's been doing it. The guy, how crazy is this? This is how you know you made it too. This guy literally, for like I don't know, how long has LeBron been in the league? So 17 years.
Yeah.
17 years has tried to bring this guy down, and he's literally made a living off
billions of dollars
off of one man, off of a man, and you're a man,
Right.
like. If I'm LeBron, I don't think he's ever responded.
He's never responded to him.
But
which
like,
is
that
the way
right
it should
there,
be.
that right there, it just shows like, man, like you're a coward, dog. Like it's like when you should never count another man's pockets. You know what I'm saying? Like it's in that same, that same just like sacred of who you should be as a man, and like. Yeah, that crowd, it frustrates me, man, because, like, who are you?
It goes back to what I was saying about credibility, like, and this is a life thing. If someone is criticizing you and they don't have that credibility or it's not true, then why are you going to get upset about it? Like, Paul George went on a social media rampage saying, F y'all who are talking about me, blah, 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 blah. And then he played terrible the rest of that playoff series.
Mm-hmm.
What is he focused on? He's focused on us, people who were criticizing him.
But then he sought professional help.
Yep.
And now he's been playing really well.
Yeah, he's been playing better.
And has a chance to compete for a championship.
So in life, like, if people are saying things that aren't true, or or they don't have credibility, why are you getting worked up about it? Like, I don't argue with people when it comes to like different topics that I know I'm more knowledgeable about. Like, why am I going to argue with you about, like there was someone who was basically trying to tell me, why I think why James Harden's better than LeBron or whatever, like in the comments. I forgot this. It's like, why? I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah, come on, man. Because
what am I? And if you say something that is like, should be offensive to me, if it's not true, if someone said, Marshall, you're a terrible human being, and you do all these terrible things, I'm gonna be like, that's not true, and I'm gonna move on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I gonna get all worked up about?
You have to have a certain. I mean, it takes a certain confidence in yourself to kind of get to that point. It's not easy.
I wasn't always there.
It's not
I'll
easy.
say that.
But you can't let outside distractions get to you, man, as a person, because deep down you know who you are. You know who you are as an individual.
You should. You should at least.
So yeah, man. Big respect to that, man. 'Cause, I mean, that's not easy to admit that. Being who he is, given what all he's been through, like that's commendable in my opinion. And honestly, man, I've always said the Cowboys, they're not going to get anywhere. But if he's leading them, I think they're going to get to some place.
I hope they do. I hope they do.
So Skip, man, you're whack. Shannon, you need to call him out.
You'll never be on the pod, Skip.
Nah,
You're
you
not
won't.
invited to the podcast.
You won't.
We don't want you on here. But on another light, man, that's related to like mental health. I thought about this, man, and it kind of reminded me of like, all right, every year we all should get physical checkups, like at the doctor, where they test all these things, blood pressure, heart rate, like the basics. But like as people, how often do we do that with our mental health? It's like, what would our mental health, like, what would our results say?
I've
if we would've
never
got,
never had a mental health checkup.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why therapists in everyday life, I think everyone needs to do at least one session, some type of counseling. You know what I'm saying? Because like the physical stuff, yes, it's important to
It's
keep
all
sharp,
exterior.
but it affects your mental, like being healthy. I'm not talking about like looking good. Like being healthy is important physically, but it's even more important mentally. You know
I told you that's why I clock in the way I do. It's more so for my mental, dog.
So think about that. Like we get these physicals every year. What would our mental quote unquote physical look like if we were to go to a professional?
Yep.
It's vital. It's vital.
It needs to be in the school system, which I think it is.
There are counselors, but
but
how often do
it's
people
not
go?
It's not encouraged.
It's for troubled kids.
Yeah. But like, I mean, in insurance plans, that all needs to be included in that. Because it's important, man. Like, there's been too many suicides. I've known people that have committed suicide. People that have, and I guarantee you probably know people who have considered it, but you never knew that.
Oh yeah,
that's why it's
for
important to just to check in, with your friends and family. Like, a couple ways to do that. You can just be like, "Yo, man, I miss you, man. It's been a while," or, "Yo, you remember this time we did that?" Like little things like that. Would just show that person that like you care and we need you here. So I encourage you guys, man, to check in with your friends, and because you never know what somebody's going through, man. Like I've seen too many cases of people that may have looked like they're doing well, but they weren't.
Nah, man. Especially in this area, where status is important. Looking the part and acting a certain way, which actually I think does more damage to your mental health.
Yeah.
What this year,
fake
man?
Lives.
Yeah, man, for real.
Because it's tiring. Like when you're trying to keep up with the Joneses and
be someone else.
Like people going to Tulum, and I'm like, dog, you might not even be able to afford that joint, but because it's the hot spot and like, it looks good on the gram, you get back. You missing a credit card payment,
yeah,
dog.
you're in the red, man.
So like,
this year really taught me to like really evaluate how I talk to people. Like if my last text or my last conversation in person or over the phone or whatever, if that was the last thing I said to that person before they passed away, would I be proud of it?
mm-hmm.
Would I be proud of it? And I've never dealt with as many like deaths that were kind of close to home as I have this year, and I think most people can say that.
Yeah.
And
I can't like. Yes, that's a good point because I can't. I've like with Kobe when he died, I've never cried over someone that I just never knew, or like in general, dog. Like, I've never experienced like a death that's close to me that like I've cried for.
I mean, Kewan and Brandon were that for me, but that was it. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
and never. Yeah, Kobe.
I'm thinking about it. I'm like, wow, I've never like legit cried over somebody passing away, and that's why like his death changed so much for me mentally. And yeah, man, like you said, like you have to be mindful of what you say and but most importantly your actions. Like because it's not worth it at the end of the day. Because it's such a short life, man. It really is.
Yeah, it's been a challenging year for like we said, for most people, and we're not trying to like make light and try to act like nothing bad has happened when we say 2020 has been a great year for us. I mean, we chose to make it a great year.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't negate like all the stuff that has happened. And appreciation has been like something that's been heavy on my mind this year. Like appreciate what you have, appreciate who you're around, like the right people that, you know, are actually a positive influence on your life.
Yeah, energy, man. The energy you're surrounded by and the energy you give out is so important. Like, it really is.
You reap what you sow. You 100% reap what you sow. But yeah, like, it's just, again, like this next topic, it is sports related, but it is related to life, man. The U.S. Open, which is one of my favorite events, happened, you know, or just finished on the women's side yesterday. And I think today the men's side is going to wrap up.
Mm-hmm. Osaka, man, she's a beast.
Shout out to Naomi Osaka.
Yeah, man. Shout out to her.
Did her thing. Second U.S. Open in 3 years.
Serena better watch out. I'm telling you.
Serena needs a lot. She need to clock in, man. She need to lock in, man. But she's a GOAT, so, you know.
Yeah, for sure. But she's coming.
But what I wanted to touch on is there was no fans, like, the whole time, bro. And tennis is one of those sports.
Your coach and, like, maybe some family members.
Yeah, like, very few people. But the people who really, like, influence your game during majors or any tennis match is the fans. Like, you feed off the fans in tennis. And it's just you out there. There's no teammates. No one can save you. Like, mentally, it's one of the toughest sports to play. I've been playing it more recently, and, like, I really appreciate how mentally tough you have to be with tennis because
similar to golf.
It is very similar to golf. But I think it's different in the sense that you have to literally beat that person.
Yeah.
Like, you're playing against them.
It's one-on-one.
Like, it's one-on-one, bro.
You can't duck that smoke.
Yeah, not at all.
You can't lean on LeBron or Kyrie.
No one can save you.
To take you to the promised land. It's just you.
And people can sense when your mentality is going down. Like, they can...
It shows.
They can smell the blood,
It shows, man. It shows in your body language.
Yeah, for sure. So, I wanted to bring that up, man, because practice is very similar to how they played in the U.S. Open. Like, there's no fans at practice.
Mm-hmm.
There's zero fans. It's just you and your people. Just like in the U.S. Open this year, it was just you and your people.
Just like in life.
It's just like in life, man. Like, they really had...
At the end of the day, it's just you and your circle and your family.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And my thing is, if you didn't clock in the right way, mentally and physically, in practice in the, you know, before the U.S. Open, leading up to all this, then you weren't going to perform well if you needed the crowd to motivate you. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you need that external motivation and environment to win, you may get a few wins, but you're not going to be consistent.
Nah.
You're not going to be consistent. You're not going to consistently get that dub. So it was powerful to see that, man, because it really made me think, like, man, that's life. Like, everything we do to be great, like Nico, with the stuff that he does to make our YouTube dope, y'all don't see that crap. It's just him. When Eric's making beats, it's literally just him. When we're on our basketball grind, when we're doing stuff leading up to, like, preparing for the pod or, like, whatever we're doing, like, it's just us.
Yeah.
It's just us. But, like, you have to perform when you have to clock in and lock in when no one else is there, so that this environment that you may be thrown into where there's no fans or there's no one to really motivate you, you're still going to thrive because it's like...
It shouldn't matter.
It shouldn't matter. It's like riding a bike.
It's also like you also show an appreciation for your craft and, you know, what you do. Because if you really love your sport or, you know, it doesn't have to be sport, whatever you do.
Profession,
like
business, whatever.
Like, it'll be the same approach. Like E's been making beats for countless years.
17, 18.
Your whole life.
Yeah, pretty much our whole
Yeah.
lives. And, you know, he could have quit, man. And I'm sure he's had nights.
Basketball.
Yeah.
Another way.
Yeah, but I'm using you because it's just like you know, people might expect 17 years of making beats to be freaking Alchemist, to be 40. But, I mean, he's not there yet. But he still has the same love for it, the same passion. And, you know, it's a true testament to who he is and what he loves to do. Because, you know, you're gonna go through some trials and tribulations, but if you really love something, man, you're gonna fight through it. That's just what it comes down to.
You're gonna prepare when no one else is around.
Yeah, because all the outside stuff, it doesn't matter. Like, I'll play, like if I were to play in a bubble, I wouldn't care. You know, there's no fans, but I'm playing basketball.
You love the hoop, man. Like the same way that we play in 5-on-5 pickup, the mentality and the effort, like the tenacity, it isn't that much different than in a regular game.
No, it'll be magnified because of adrenaline.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know, but
we're
my
not
mindset-
loafing. We're not loafing
Nah.
and trying to be cute during 5-on-5. Like it's just for me, and I know you could say the same thing. It's like it's disrespectful to the game.
yeah,
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, like in the U.S. Open, it was dope, man, because it was like out of any sport, that's probably the toughest to play with no fans, in my opinion, because it's just you.
yeah.
Like golf, you're used to it being quiet. You know, you might feed off the crowd a little bit. Basketball, like you're feeding off the crowd. Football, like soccer, you know, like there are very few individual sports like tennis where, you know, the crowd is really a big deal. So, you know, the message is like life-wise, man, clock in when no one's there so that when that time comes, whether people are there or not, you're going to perform at a high level.
Yeah, I've said it before. You don't need fans, man. You got air conditioning.
It's a fact. Yeah, man. Like, forget about. Do it for you. Do it for you, and do it because, in my opinion, God gave you the talent to do it, and this is just the way I look at it.
You have to do it.
You need to honor Him by doing it the right way.
You have to do it.
If He gave you talent to do something, you know, because there's only one of us on this earth. We all have unique gifts, and one of the ways that we can, you know, repay God is to honor that gift in the way that's pleasing.
It's
in His sight.
like imagine if LeBron didn't approach basketball the way he did. Would that I Promise school be up?
Nope.
You know, imagine if, you know, Muhammad Ali didn't box and, you know, be the competitor he was. Like, to be quite honest with you, there wouldn't be Black Lives Matter on the court or the field.
Nah, there wouldn't. He was one of the originators.
He was.
Bill Russell.
Bill
you know,
Russell,
a lot of those guys.
Jim Brown. So yeah, man, like, you just have to walk into your gifts and your path, because that's the most impactful way in honoring God.
Yeah.
And yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Last thing, man, wanted to touch on, and yeah, this episode is really going to be heavy on like mental health, man, because with everything going on today, with COVID, with racial injustice, election, all this stuff going on, like we got to make sure that this stuff stays intact. And something that I think is tough for a lot of people, including myself, is how do you balance serving others but also being selfish when it comes to your mental health, right? Because sometimes you can be so selfless that you'll do things for anybody, and you're really damaging your own mental health because you're overstretching yourself when it comes to the stress that's being put on you, or you're too selfish and you're like, I'm not serving anybody because I'm afraid to put myself out there, and it's all about me. And that also affects your mental health, whether you realize it or not. Because human beings there's something about doing something for somebody else that makes our mental being like a lot better.
Yeah.
Right. So like for you, man, like how do you feel like you find that right balance of being a servant to others, but also making sure that like you're good? mentally?
I think. I mean, it at the end of the day, it starts with you. Like, I can't give, people the best version of me without taking care of me first.
Spot on, man. Hey, that's an air horn, man. You gotta do something with that, because that's a word, bro.
Hold on. I changed the panels, but yeah, there we go.
We got there.
Yeah, but yeah, man. Like, it's important because, it starts within yourself, and I know for me, man, like, it's sometimes, like, now as a parent, if I'm not in the right mood around my son, like, I honestly I don't want to be around him, because that's not fair to him. So, like, I may pass him off to Gigi for like 5 minutes and just go upstairs and, like, I don't know, do something. But yeah, I know, because I have to be in the right state of mind to give him the energy and the love that he needs, because, and I think that's a problem in life, and when it comes to a lot of people, like, you may be feeling a certain way, and that person who you might be interacting with could be in the best spirits, but because something affected you, you're now putting that on them and taking it out on them, and that's just not fair.
Nah, it's not. And as the person who is on the receiving end of that, like, how do you handle that? Because I feel like there has to be the balance of giving people grace, but you also can't just let people talk and do
I think
whatever,
it always starts with empathy. You empathize for that person. You might know the situation, or you might just know how that person is, when it comes to certain things. But it always starts with that. But like you said, like, you can't let that person walk all over you, because it's gonna then affect you.
Exactly.
And it's just that cycle of just that energy that it could be good or bad.
It's happened to me, bro, in some relationships. Like,
yeah,
it's happened.
Yeah, like, you can't let certain situations affect your current situation, whether it's with somebody or with yourself. But yeah, man, you just you have to be in the right state of mind in order to give what you need to give. So
yeah, I don't have much to add, man. I agree 100%. Only thing I'll say two things. It's what you said is basically, it's selfish not to get yourself right, because you're not going to be able to serve those other people in the right in the right capacity. So by you not taking care of yourself, you're actually hurting the people that you're going to serve. It's actually selfish. It's backwards, but it all comes full circle. Like, you have to be the best version of you to give your best to other people.
Because you talk about, you're working out now for, like, what, 10, 15, 20 years later.
Yeah.
Because, you'll have kids, when you get to a certain age, you're still going to need that energy to do what you want to do. So you're taking care of yourself now, so then when it comes to that point, you're prepared and you're able to give that energy.
Right. I'm selfish about my workout time now, like how I'm eating and things like that. I'm selfish with that.
Yeah.
Like, no one's interfering with that.
No.
Because like you said, I still want to be able to dunk on somebody at age 40, or at least slap glass on the layup.
You might be able to get up there.
Yeah,
you might be able to get up there.
You never know. But I was going to plug real quick. There's a guy named Mike Robbins. He came to one of my last jobs, the last job I worked at, work event, like a big conference we have every year. And he has a book called Bring Yourself to Work.
You got a caller?
Did that Skip?
Yeah,
Hey,
pick that up.
tell
man.
Skip. We'll talk to him that. He's not a priority right now, man. We're not worried about you. You know how Skip called Dame
Yeah.
when Dame heard
Fake.
he said something crazy about him. But anyways,
Shout out to Dame, man.
yeah, Clock In
Wait,
remix,
man.
man. We need you big time.
Every episode, man.
Campaign continues.
Yeah, man. Hey, tag Dame, man. Tag Dame. Tell him holla at us. But yeah, he has a book called Bring Your Best Self to Work, and he talks a lot about like how do you prepare yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually to like bring your best self to whatever you're doing in your daily life. So I think that's like another like tagline or mantra you can add to your your daily life is like bring your best self to whatever you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you have to have your mental right. So that's it, man. As far as kind of what I wanted to get into. I don't know if you had anything else you wanted to talk about.
Nah, man. I think we covered everything. It's time to watch some football.
Yeah, absolutely.
Time to watch some football.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna get my daily dose of Anitas. Yeah, shout out to Anitas, man. I need I'm there every
They
Sunday.
need to sponsor the podcast.
I'm gonna talk to somebody.
Yeah, do that today.
I'm
man.
there like every Sunday. I'm like, yo, come on, man. Y'all know, y'all should know me by now. Y'all spell my name wrong every time, but
How they spell it?
like O-S-T-I-N.
I've never met anyone whose name Austin is spelled with an O.
No. Sometimes, like, I remember my Sunday school teacher would spell my name. She was a little country, too.
Austin.
Yeah, Alston.
A-L-
A-L-S-T-O-N.
She spelled it the way that she said it instead of spelling it the way that it's supposed to be spelled.
Yeah.
Anyway.
At least they're not calling me Oscar. Remember? Shout out to Dio, man. Dio used to call me Oscar.
Theo Lucas, yeah.
Big D.
Yeah,
He
man.
used to be sick too.
Yeah, he's a fool.
Austin
He's a
hated
fool.
that. One last thing before we wrap up. We didn't do this last week just because I think the flow of the podcast, just didn't allow it with like the freestyles and all that. But we do want to do Clock In MVP of the week every week. So this week, the winner is no other than Nick Bush.
Shout out to Nick, man.
Shout out to the ambulances. That's a part of the drop.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
realize
yeah.
that's a part of the effect. Yeah. Shout out to Nick, man. All right. So I know that. I'm let the drop play out.
Yeah, let it rock, man. Let it rock.
My bad.
Let it rock.
I know Nick from college. I went to Ferrum College with him. It's funny. I didn't talk to him a ton. He was a year older than me. I think he was only there for like 2 years. But he's from Northern Virginia. We connected probably like 2 years ago because he's in real estate, and I wanted to kind of learn about like, what the process is like to buy homes and all that. Real good dude, man. But he's been rocking with us for, like 6-7 months.
Yeah.
So it's funny because before we actually started tagging other people, he would tag me when he would run.
Yeah.
And it started out, obviously y'all know if y'all listen to, a couple episodes, this all started when Austin started tagging me. But then Nick would go on runs and he would tag me. And he kind of is a part of like the Clock In story, man. Because he's been tagging people before, this became a thing with us. So Nick's in real estate. He has like a 1-year-old son. He has like I think an 8-year-old son. I think he's still engaged. I'm not sure if they had the wedding yet. And he's grinding, man. Like when we talk about clocking as a lifestyle, like he's grinding as a father, a fiance, in real estate. And I really wanted to give it to him this week because I think like 3 or 4 of his workouts were like after 8 p.m.
Yeah. Nah, he tags me, so I see it, man. I'm like, dang, it's like
that's
9
tough, bro. Like when you've done everything, that you need to get done that day, you just want to chill.
That's
You
it.
just want to chill. But the fact that he was working out at like 8, 9, 9:30 to end his day, and I know he gets up super early too. Like, hey man, you earned it, bro.
Yeah.
Clock In
man.
MVP of the week,
Yes, sir.
man. Shout out to Nick Bush. And shout out to y'all, man. Look, it's been a pleasure again, my guys. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Meek, Mr. Foley, follow him.
Sir.
Shout out to Eric,
Yes, sir.
Russell 23 or Russell, whichever page. We gotta plug our own IGs, man. M Hamilton 5 on IG, Aham 103. Appreciate
Yes, sir.
y'all, man.
We
Clock
love
in
y'all,
this
man.
week, man.
Peace.
Let's get it. I got some bars. I feel good this week. Might be a part of the outro.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yo, man.
Right, yeah.
Clock in with it. Shit with it. I say that every time.
You say that every time.
Yeah, that's my joint. Yo, NFL on a Sunday. Hit it back next. That's Monday. Then Tuesday. Then Wednesday. About to have a good day. Shout out to the Titans with it. We about to dub with it. Let's get it.
Yeah. One time. We hop in real quick. Yeah.
You see don't like that? You don't like that?
Yeah. DJ.
Hey, shout out to Pops, man. Clock in.
I've entitled this message, Clock In.
Clocked in. Docked in. Like a wife. We clocked in. I ain't talking about side town. You know, I'm from the town.
Town.
I turned in. VA 703. You know where I be. You know how I see. Not talking Stevie. I'm blind, but alright, see. You killed me. I was about to get it in, dog. Come on, man.
That was good.
Yeah. We put in work and here's the proof. What you want?
I'm making moves, punching in.
I'm on it too.
I'm in the gym.
I'm in the stew.
It's hunting season.
Where's the food?
We push each other daily. Level up.
Cause that's what brothers do.
Clock in.